Hey everyone, it is Keith McGinnis here with KCDC Designs out of Eagle, Nebraska. Wow, this one really turned out cool. This is a Phantom Black in pearl, kind of a black and pearl swirl, with some little cool accents that I added into it. But it really turned out nice. Took me less than 40 minutes to create this, so stay tuned and check it out. So I'm working with 3/4 MDF. I have painted the board with Stone Coat's white undercoat paint, and as always I'm fogging the edges, fogging the surface, and trying to get some colors layered in. The colors I'm going to be using are Phantom Black, these are just resin colors, Pearl White. I'm also using aluminum, which you got to be careful because that really can take over. Alumilite Black Dye, that's chocolate brown by just resin, and then we're going to add a little bit of bling, and that's mother of pearl. So let's get our colors all mixed up and let's get this show on the road. By the way, all I use is what I consider to be the best epoxy on the market is Stone Coat Epoxy, and you can get your supplies, free shipping on orders over $100, same day shipping if ordered before noon Central Time at RK3 Designs. All my hand gestures here, this is me trying to figure out how I want to pour my colors out. So I'm going to pour these colors out not necessarily in diagonal or a lateral fashion, but a little more, kind of got some curvature to it, I guess. Just because, yeah, we'll see what happens. And you can see I'm pouring those colors out in random areas. Some areas heavy, some areas not so heavy, and that's pretty typical of how I lay my colors out because I don't want that candy cane or that tiger stripe kind of look. So now I'm very softly going to meld that out, and I'm going to try to stay with that flow of how I have those colors, I guess, for as random as they are. Even though it seems like I still end up getting it more of, laterally laid out, but I'm very lightly melding just to get the board covered. So now that I've got the colors out, this is going to start to soften up, especially after I get a torch to it to torch out the bubbles, and then I'm going to be able, and then it'll start to flow over my edge a little bit too, but that's going to soften quite a bit. All right, now I do have some brown, and I want to run some of that brown in there. And let's get those bubbles torched out. Now I could have added this brown when I laid out all of the colors and initially melded them, but what I've discovered is I really like to get kind of a foundation started and then add in those accent colors afterwards. I could be using brown, I could be using green, I could be using blue, I could be using anything that's going to add in kind of that highlight, and it's a color that's going to be on top of the foundation, if you will, instead of being a part of it. So it's kind of like layering additional colors that are going to stand out more than if I were to have melded them in with the other colors. Now, the fact that it's a brown and you see a lot of black in there, as I'm melding that in, you're really not able to see it from the photos and from the video of where that brown is, but just take a look at how much difference it makes by adding that in there. And in this case, it's going to be just enough brown to help tie in with the customer's cabinetry that they have in their kitchen. And I'm just very lightly and very softly just melding that over the top of the surface. So you've got so much work time with the Stone Coat products that right now I'm probably not even, 20, 30 minutes into it maybe? Yeah, I'm 22 minutes in. I got at least another hour that I can work with this if I wanted to. Now I could leave that just as it is, and I have pictures, of course I have video of what it looks like, but I want to see what happens if I add in a little bit more color and some more accents, if you will. So here I'm using RustOleum Champagne Bronze, Black Metallic, or it might be a hammered Black Metallic, and then that's the Pearl White, which is the RustOleum, and then I'm going to take the flat of the stir stick, tongue depressor, if you will. I'm going to use the flat of that just to kind of push those spray paints into the resin and then just leave it alone. And man, that is way too pretty right in there. So let's just get a little bit right there. So I'm going to put one more of those accents right in this area using those same spray paints. And as I mentioned, using the flat of the stick. What's so important is leaving that alone and giving that time to develop. And that's what it's going to look like as long as you don't overwork it. It's a really, really cool accent. All right, we're just going to leave that like that. I think I'm going to walk away. All right, that's it. I'll be done. I'm walking. I think it's really pretty. Man, I'm leaving it. I'm walking away. That's all. I'm done. Walk away. I'm just a walk away, Joe. He's just a walk away, Joe. So for those of you who do this, you know how many times you're going to tell yourself, I'm going to walk away. So let's do a flyover. Right there is some of that mother of pearl. I know it's hard to see the bling that's in there, but it looks really, really cool. Again, that's the visual interest of when you're standing over the piece that you see it, when you don't see it from a distance. There's the spray paint vein that, again, that just adds another element. I could have left it alone before with all of the colors that were in there, but I really like how that added another element in there. And then again, how important it is to just allow the epoxy to just do its thing. And look how it softens up, and it really, really turned out cool. I did end up using this on a customer top, and they absolutely loved it exactly the way it was with the same color. So call me lucky on that one, but it really, really turned out nice. And again, I've only got, I think I spent less than 45 minutes on this, and I could have had an hour and a half to 2 hours to work it with using Stone Coat Epoxy. So it really turned out nice. It was a fun project to do. Thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you supporting my channel. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, and please leave some comments. Let me know what you think. What would you do differently? And just some overall comments. I appreciate it. Thanks everybody. I appreciate it. Again, Keith McGinnis here with KCDC Designs, and we'll see you on the next video.